kung di mo alam, na itong Shroud of Turin ito, pag in-overlay mo siya sa image ng Divine Mercy, they are identical. Talagang magmamatch silang dalawa. Pag nilapat mo yung sa mukha, so parehas na parehas. Grabe na this is a divine providence. And yun, alam mo ba yung nag-paint nung sa Divine Mercy, yung original na image, kasi may mga new version na ng Divine Mercy image. Yung Hi guys, Adrian Milag here and welcome again to my channel. At kung bago ka dito sa aking YouTube channel, make sure na mag-subscribe ka at click mo yung bell button sa baba ng video na to para lagi kang updated sa mga bagong vlog na gagawin ko. Alam mo ba yung Shroud of Turin? Diba? Familiar ka ba sa Shroud of Turin? Kung di mo alam yung Shroud of Turin, ito yung tela na pinambalot kay Jesus nung nilagay na siya sa tomb nung namatay siya. Sa Jewish tradition, pag namamatay, binabalot ka. So, yun yung pinambalot kay Jesus. Yung cloth na yun na pinambalot na yun, yung nag-resurrect siya, sinabi na tinago to ng mga apostles at dito sa Shroud of Turin, bumakat yung image ni Jesus at maraming mga scientists na nagpapatunay na may mga study at itong mga scientists na to, hindi to mga Katoliko, hindi to mga Christian, pero they prove that this Shroud of Turin is ito yung talagang pinambalot kay Jesus. Kasi yung kung gano'n na siya katagal, yung texture, yung sa dugo, tsaka yung sa image, grabe. Kaya itong Shroud of Turin ito yung naging batayan nating mga Katoliko kung ano talaga itsura ni Jesus dahil dito sa anatomical features na bumakat dito sa telang to. Itong Shroud of Turin na to ay treasure nating mga Katoliko at until now tinatago pa rin to sa Vatican. Ito ang nakakagulat kung di mo alam na itong Shroud of Turin ito, pag in-overlay mo siya sa image ng Divine Mercy, they are identical. Talagang magmamatch silang dalawa. Pag nilapat mo yung sa mukha, so parehas na parehas. Grabe na this is a divine providence. And yun, alam mo ba yung nag-paint sa Divine Mercy, yung original na image, kasi may mga new version na ng Divine Mercy image. Yung lumang version ng Divine Mercy na nag-paint nito, wala siyang alam dito sa Shroud of Turin. So sobrang nakakagulat at sobrang nakaka-amaze kung paano nangyari to. And panonood ko sa'yo yung isa sa Catholic talk show na pinag-usapan to na paano nag-match yung mukha ng doon sa Shroud of Turin sa Divine Mercy image.
Jesus commanded her then to have this image painted and blessed on the first Sunday after Easter to be known as the Feast of Mercy. So, I mean, this was a very specific direction, and Father Michael Sapochko really was the one who kind of got this devotion going. He was the one who commissioned the painter to have the painting done, and without him, this devotion would not have taken off. And he's really kind of underlooked in his role in all of this.
Is there any story about how they found the painter? Is there any
there is,
you know?
And he was agnostic in every respect.
The painter himself.
The painter himself was, and Saint Faustina was not happy with what he was producing at all.
Yeah, the painter's name was Eugene Kazmierowski, and he began painting it, and Saint Faustina said, "This is ugly," and she did not like it. And this poor painter repainted the face 26 different times because she's like, no, it's ugly. It doesn't look like him. It's not.
And you could imagine this agnostic painter.
Like, lady, come on.
Oh, yeah. And,
lady, come on.
And, you know, you have Father Sapotsko, who's like kind of playing both sides. He's like trying to pastorally bring him in and just continue to encourage him. Like, please just
while she was giving him
work
the
with
business.
her. Work with her, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so, you know, and I think one of the things is that the image is not like Our Lady of Guadalupe. It is not drawn by the hand of God, right? This is devotional, drawn by a very flawed artist, right? And there's a lot of different images, and I think the one that most people think of is not the original one. Most people have in their head, when they think of the Divine Mercy, some of the later paintings or some of the later versions. But that first version, something very interesting about the image of the Divine Mercy, the original painting, is that if you overlay the image of the Shroud of Turin on the image of the Divine Mercy, they are almost an identical match.
You mean the face? The
Yes.
face? If you lay it over the face.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, just the physiological structure of the faces and how they are constructed.
It's striking.
And this would not have been, you know, available to Eugene Kazimierowski. You know, it was just kind of divine providence. But if you overlay them, and I'll put this out there, it's identical. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It really is. I recall seeing that video for the first time that Father Seraphim sent me, and chills up and down my spine to see how closely they resemble. And it's almost like an exact, you know, facial structure, the cheekbones, everything. Is just an exact replica.
And it only took 28 times.
26.
And a lot of frustration.
Patience.
And, oh, yeah. So when we think we keep on coming back to the same limitations and the same frustrations, and we're getting tired of the suffering and the toil of life, realize that God's working out a miracle in your life. So be patient.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So, but not too long thereafter, Faustina was never really in good health. She kind of suffered poor health her whole life. And her health started to decline pretty rapidly. So that first image of the Divine Mercy was painted in 1934. And by 1938, she was dead. Yeah. She did not have, I mean, she
was
died.
in her 30s when she died.
33.
33.
Yeah.
She prophesied her own death.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's a total mystic.
Yeah. And, you know, in bed, her suffering, she really reunited them, but the visions continued happening.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, even like one of the things before she died, when she was, you know, really ill, she predicted that World War II was going to happen. I mean, this was a really mystic saint. Yeah.
Very prophetic.
Predicting World War II, saying a terrible war would break out, and it did. And the story of the Divine Mercy is also very tied to World War II. So after she died, Father Michael, Blessed Michael Sopochko, was able to start. He started having this image and this devotion and this chaplet of Divine Mercy, starting to be printed out and spread on these prayer cards. And the fate of Poland in World War II, a year after St. Faustina died, Poland was invaded by the Nazis. And this prayer card brought so much hope and so much, I guess, national pride and unification in the face of just this monstrous, barbaric invasion.
There was effects of the spreading of the devotion that happened, these beautiful accounts and testimonies throughout World War II and different pockets of people who had received these images. But for the most part, in the experience of Blessed Sopochko, there was suppression. There was rejection of the image. There was rejection of the devotion. The teachings of St. Faustina were being called into question. He was not receiving open doors whatsoever. And it got to the point where not only St. Faustina suffered tremendously, but she entrusted him with this message, her diary, the image itself, for him to distribute. And toward the end of his life, he felt like his whole priesthood was a wash. He felt like he was a total failure. And I mean, think of like the heartbreaking nature of like trying to pass on something that you entirely believe came from God, and for it not to be received. And
more than not received, it was specifically forbidden by the Vatican. John the 23rd signed a document saying that this is a suppressed work. I mean, this was shut down.
And that's important to realize, that in that process there were a couple of people that received this message in hand. One of them, a priest that brought it to America, and then the other, JP2.
Right.
And JP2 met Sopocko before he died.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So Cardinal Ottaviani, you know, of the Ottaviani intervention, and you know, he was a very traditionally minded cardinal.
What's the Ottaviani?
That's his name. The Ottaviani intervention. It's another episode, right?
We'll do an intervention.
Yeah. It's basically him saying he was one of the cardinals who very vehemently fought against the removal of Latin and the Novus Ordo.
Okay.
Anyway, but he was actually the one who got Pope St. John the 23rd to sign this ban, and it said images and writings that promote devotion to divine mercy in the forms proposed by Saint Faustina are expressly forbidden. This is 1959.
So, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
it's 1959, and it was shut down as, you know, like Medjugorje should be, right? And
that was a dig.
That was a dig.
Suppressive authoritarian.
Yeah, yeah.
No, there's importance to be given to grassroots movements and the spirit and the charism that comes from the people of God that embrace devotions that confer grace and consolation. The Divine Mercy is a perfect example of that. Certain aspects of Medjugorje, without being being the type of authoritative figure, because I have not investigated Medjugorje, but I've been many times. I have received great consolation, and there are great things happening there. But to realize that, you know, when God's will is present and commissioned, it will happen. And clearly it encountered great difficulty, great turmoil. But the fact that John Paul II, when he was named Pope, you know, flipping over a stack of papers when he walked in, and the first thing he's looking at is St. Faustina's cause.
Hi! Thank you for watching. Na-bless ka ba sa vlog kong to? So kung na-bless ka, please like, share, and mag-comment ka sa baba ng video na to. And you may also subscribe on my YouTube channel and click the bell button para lagi ka updated sa mga new content na gagawin ko. At paki-like ang aking page, Brother Adrian Milag. At para sa mga libreng ebook and training na galing sa akin, punta ka lang sa website ko sa www.adrianmilag.net. It's been Adrian Milag, encouraging you to live your life to the fullest. God bless you more abundantly.